So you've decided to make changes in your life. You've decided from this point forward, you are a different you. And I applaud you because you is where it starts from. The issue that I'm having with what you ask me is, how do I change and have them take me seriously? How do I change and have them know that I'm now different? How do I go from being my masculine energy and paying for everything to letting him take care of me? Or how do I go from not letting her, boss me around anymore? Or whatever issue is you're having. The question is almost always formatted in the, I've done all these things now, how do I go back on it? I was so anxiously attached. I was so overwhelming to my partner. I was so tiresome. I was just so draining. And now I've realized from all these things I've read, from your videos that I've watched, from all these things that I've done, that it was partly my fault. How do I go back on the things that I've done? And therein lies the crux, my friend. You should not be positioning the question from the point of view of, I've done so much now, how do I go back on it, with that person in mind? Because if you're still looking at it with that person in mind, what does that mean? It means that you're still looking at it from that codependent, attached lifestyle that you've always been used to. Are you making yourself better for you, or are you making yourself better for them to like you more? Because the way you're asking that question makes me think that you are asking that so that they like you more, so that they accept you more. Because if you're really actually ready to make a change in your life, then let's turn the car off so we have peace when we talk. If you're actually ready to make a change in your life, then it should be on the precipice that you are now ready to change. So the first thing that you need to understand, the number one thing that you need to understand, is that it cannot be with them in mind. If it is with that person in mind, then you've already started at a losing position. Let's have a person in mind. The example is the anxiously attached, codependent woman with her partner. She's now realized a few things. She doesn't want a partnership. She wants a marriage. She's already cohabited with him and had a few children. It's already, she controls him. She always looks at his phone. She always tells him what to do. She's nagging all the time. And she's decided, I want to change and I want to shift. And she's listened to a couple of my podcasts. She's listened to a few of my videos and she wants to change. The first thing is, we need to forget him. We need to forget him in the mind's eye of what we are doing. We need to change because you want to change. Because guess what? Part number 2 is, you might lose the person you are changing for. The fact that you are changing might mean that the change creates a chasm between you and that person, in which you no longer can be together, because maybe that person only fit into your life because they were perhaps a narcissist. They were perhaps someone who wanted to use you. They were perhaps somebody who's only comfortable with you with that mind's eye of how you were conducting yourself. So you cannot change for them because you might lose them. I hope, and in most situations, you would actually attract that person more. Hence everything that I do. I want you to have a better life. I want you to have effortless attraction. I want you to be able to breathe easy and not come from the place of like, oh, how do they feel about me? But how do I feel about me? That's the place where you want to come from. How do I feel about me? How do I feel about my hair being down? I feel good about my hair being down. How do I feel about me? Not how did they feel about me? And so you must know that if you want to be healthy in your mind, that it might come at the cost of losing that person. And thank God, because if that person cannot have a healthy relationship with you and a healthy acceptance of you, then you don't want that person in your life anyway. Number 3, you are not going to announce your change. You're not going to go, Paul, Roger, whatever his name is, Juan, I am now changing. I am now going to be a self-sufficient, independent woman who, as an independent of mind, as in, I no longer want your approval. I'm going to do this, that, and the other one. Because again, you're coming back to exactly where we started. You're coming back to wanting a reaction from that person. By the way, I just spotted it. The sponsor of this video, I have a story to tell you guys before we go on to the next point. Before I chose an Apple Watch, I was standing in the Apple store for the longest time choosing a strap for it, because I was like, who am I? Am I the black strap girl? Am I the gold one? Took me a while. Casetify has actually solved that problem by creating amazing, stylish straps along with their amazing phone cases. But this has really caught my eye, so I got 3 straps from them that I want to share with you, and some other details about the brand. So thank you, Casetify, for sponsoring this video. Casetify, the world's most popular tech accessory brand known for their protective phone cases and global collaboration, now introduces FlexiBands, stylish and comfortable watch bands that are really easy to install so you can switch up your wrist game. Basically, they've got you covered. They're water resistant. They have a new buckle design, which is a fan favorite from the Casetify ring design. And they have a huge range of prints. I couldn't settle on one, so I chose this amazing, almost California style retro pink and reds and blacks. And my favorite pattern of all time is the houndstooth. So those are incredible and very, very pretty to wear. I've got a discount code for you guys as well. You can go to www.casetify.com/margarita.nazarenko or use the code 15margarita for 15% off for your Casetify order. Go and click in the link below and enjoy your amazing new wrist styling. So off the back of saying that, you cannot announce changes you're going to make. It nullifies the changes. It creates an atmosphere whereby you're trying to win that person's approval again. You need to simply wake up one day, and for the sake of you and for the sake of your well-being and for the sake of your whole projection and entirety of your future life, you need to make those changes. Not all in one day, not all straight away. Nothing needs to happen imminently and no announcements need to be made. You also cannot announce to that person how you want them to now react to your changes. You cannot say, from now on, I'm going to be really confident and I'm going to be really, happy with myself, and therefore you're going to respect me. Respect and changes in attitude come from how you perceive yourself over time. When you ease into a confidence that you are going to have an effortless knowledge of your well-being, and the knowledge that if something is not for you, then it will miss you. And if something is for you, then it will find you. Only then can you breathe easily and be in the zone, which is your life, and move forward. You cannot do it for another person. And in telling them that you're going to make these changes, or I'm now going to be in my feminine, I expect you to be in your masculine. No, that person's on their own journey. Again, what you're doing is you're trying to control them. You're trying to control what they are doing. Do we need to illuminate the situation? Yeah, nice and bright. You cannot control the situation. You cannot control them. You need to let go. And this is what a lot of codependent and anxiously attached people do. I know I was one. Is that instead of changing you, you start changing them. But think about how hard it is to change yourself. You ever gone on a diet? You ever decided to start training? You've ever decided to better yourself? You've ever decided to do anything? It's really, really hard. So from what vicinity do you think you're going to come and tell them that you've decided to make changes in your life and instruct them how you're going to change? Change yourself first. We anxious people and codependents love to control others around us and not ourselves. We love to look at other people, but not ourselves. Let's look at ourselves for a minute. Let's become the people we want to be, because from that point of clarity, we can choose who's going to be with us. Because then I expect your DMs to be to me, Margarita, I'm becoming the person I want to be. I now see Roger or Juan, whoever it is, in a totally different light. Because you know what happens when you heal? You can detach and see that person in a completely different light. One that I can't even communicate to you right now. One that I cannot even begin to explain, because that person will not look the same. So if I tell you how to announce to him, how to treat him, I know that you're still coming from a place of attachment. I know you're still coming from a place of wanting approval. I know that you're not doing it for the right reasons. Lastly, how do you make a change in being the person you want to be? You create the avatar in your mind's eye of who you want to be, and you start to be that person. There is no ands, ifs, or buts. There is no Monday to this technique. There is today. You know that old adage of what would Jesus do? It doesn't have to be Jesus. It can be that model of who it is that you want to model yourself on, and start to act like it until you become it, because there is no other option. Without the approval of others, without the go-ahead from anyone, with just you, yourself, and yourself, me, myself, and I, with just you and you just make that decision. And it's going to be hard, and it's going to be months of people perhaps feeling alienated or strange by the fact that you're different, but you were born as you, and you will die as you, and this is your journey. Nobody else needs to approve it. Love you lots like jelly tots. See you on the next one.